Hello, I am Chad Durham of Rogue Auteurs, and this is our first edition of the Sobbing Cinephile. The Sobbing Cinephile is me, because I cry in almost every movie ever made. While that's a bit of an overstatement, if a movie has any sort of melodramatic qualities or it's hoping to have an emotional reaction, usually the waterworks come for me. With each edition of the Sobbing Cinephile, what I will do is I will let you know about a movie. It may be new, it may be old, and I will tell you how much I cried in it. And you can make your own judgment call and if you want to see it or have a knowledge of how much you're going to cry. This comes from years and years of experience for me. Just the other day I watched the movie Hoot, based on a Kyle Hyacin novel. The novel itself was fairly critically acclaimed, the movie not so much, even though it does feature Logan Lerman as well as Brie Larson and Tim Blake Nelson and Luke Wilson. You can go IMDb it right now. And though the movie was charming in its own way, it didn't deserve me crying at the end when the three young kids saved the burrowing owls. Sorry for the spoiler alert. If you've ever read Hoot or seen Hoot, you knew where that was going. If you haven't, trust me, you'll know where it's going long before the end. In today's edition of the Sobbing Cinephile, I want to talk to you about A Little Princess. This is a movie directed by Alfonso Cuarón and shot by his cinematographer Emmanuel Lubezki. This movie actually came out in the mid-90s. Has been a favorite of my family for a long time, and I've watched it many, many times, and it never fails to make me cry at the end. In fact, the other day my kids were watching it on a long trip, and I was driving, so I couldn't see any of the visuals, and when the end of the movie happened, I still cried. With each movie that I take a look at on the Sobbing Cinephile, I will tell you how many buckets I cried of tears out of 5. A Little Princess is a special case, because I don't usually cry throughout the movie, but at the end in the climactic scenes where we're not sure the fate of our titular little princess, as well as her father, I always cry, and I sob, I weep at the end of A Little Princess. And that's one thing you gotta know about me here on the Sobbing Cinephile, is I normally cry when it's happy. I don't wanna ruin A Little Princess if you've never seen it. There are some pretty darn happy moments at the end, and I become a blubbering baby. Okay, every single time. But because I don't cry for the whole movie, we're gonna say I cried 4 buckets of tears in A Little Princess. If there are any movies you want to know how much I cry, comment or go to our Facebook page, Rogue Auteurs, go to rogueauteurs.com or tweet at me at cdurham99. And if I can, I will run down a copy of the movie that you suggested. I will watch it and I will tell you how many buckets of tears I cried. If you have seen A Little Princess directed by Alfonso Cuarón, which came out, I believe, in 1995. Tell me how many buckets you cried. Until then, on the Sobbing Cinephile, I'm Chad Durham for Rogue Auteurs. Have a great day.